I actually think last week went pretty well.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was dreading it. 6 people, but like I had such a fun time.
Yeah, and like everyone got their stuff in. We were all funny.
Look, I didn't want to admit it, but your puns were actually quite funny.
Oh, thank you. I tried really hard on them, so I appreciate that.
I could feel it.
You know, I've actually patented Cthulhu-O's.
Cthulhu-O's.
It's a really good idea.
They're going to be a baby beard cereal.
Yeah, we can actually, we've got the rights to it now.
So excited.
It's a good idea for you.
Oh my God. And Phil made me want to go bowling again.
Bowling alley.
First time in ever.
Yeah, it'll be my 28th birthday. Yeah.
Okay, so have we got everything? We didn't leave anything at Elliot's.
No, so we should have everything to go. So we got the mics.
Yeah.
I took those home.
Yeah, that was your responsibility. I got all the notebooks and everything, so stationery, that's check.
Okay, and we got the Zoom. Are we missing anything else?
Pop filters. I've
Pop
got
filters.
all 3. Yep.
All good to go. We got the live stream going.
What?
What are we missing?
Something is missing.
Something's definitely wrong.
What? Oh my God, Phil!
Baby beard!
Waited for you, Fry!
This episode traumatized me as a young person.
My head is hurting again.
Where's my firstborn son?
God does not care about me masturbating.
Your singing is bad and you should feel bad. First get out into bus, you're like, oh no!
Yeah, I don't like myself becoming the protagonist of this podcast.
You've been in
because you haven't learned anything.
Shut up and take me podcast.
That one really wasn't that sustainable, was it?
No, it was. I put my mouth in a particular way and I held my breath in a particular way and I thought, I wonder what this is going to sound like. And it wasn't particularly great.
You made Gollum.
Well, here's my problem, right?
There you go.
I got halfway through it and then I realized if this is the first time someone's listening, they probably want some semblance of a normal voice. So I gave them the cast as a normal thing to draw them in and charm them.
That's half-assing it to me.
It is.
You got to go all in.
No.
If I'm sorry, listener. If you're late, all right.
That's very accurate, by the way, listener.
We've been waiting what 101 episodes, and you just waltz in now, and you think, oh yeah, what they should bend to me. We should explain everything to you. Now, listener, you're not special.
All right, but Alyssa's gone now. Welcome, everybody, to Shut Up and Take My Podcast, that Futurama podcast that pits episode against episode in a bloody glorious gauntlet battle for your entertainment. And as always, I am joined here. I say always, by the way, and it's not always.
It's not always.
For most of the time on this run, I am joined here by Ellen.
The Indy 500 was today. There were no survivors. And I am joined here since... no one else is here. By Sean.
This episode is patent pending.
Why?
I get it.
Can we at Patton Oswalt?
Yes, we
should.
can. Well, I was about to say, is he on Twitter? He's totally on Twitter.
Totally
He's 100% on Twitter. There's no way he's not
like
on Twitter.
A very big presence on Twitter.
Hey. Would you? So, by the way, for the listeners, we have just celebrated our 100th episode, which I inaccurately termed the 100th anniversary. But it is our...
Yes, we're not 100 years old yet.
No, we'll get there. We'll get there in time.
Through this podcast.
Now, funnily enough, we had a bit of interactions. Also, by the way, if you hear any noises, I'm playing with a fan that was given to me, which is a very poor choice on Ellen's part, because I will be playing with this.
My bad.
For the rest of the episode. However, we have been getting a bit of interaction from people, from individuals.
Is it other than people telling us to fuck off and die? Or?
Oh, no, we haven't had any fuck-offs today.
They've
been positive.
What a day.
Do you want to hear them?
What a lovely day.
Oh, do you want to hear them?
Yes, I do.
All right, so the first one was from Cody Mann. Hey, Cody.
Oh, hey, Cody.
Do you remember Cody?
I do. He's the one who has permanently, ruined...
Wait, what was that word?
Permanently ruined Phil's self-esteem, I believe.
I feel like he's redeemed himself here. So, he goes... Hi, Sean. Sean spelled S-H-A-W-N.
Beautiful. Okay.
It was great to hear how much you, Eileen, Phil, Saul Goodman, and Saul Salt enjoyed reading notes from fans. I figured that since I fucked it up hard enough last go-round, it's only fair that I spell Phil's name right and everyone else's wrong this time.
Aww.
Looking forward to new episodes, and remember to stay out of the methane swamps. Cheers, Cody. Look, we can't promise that we will.
You adorable little scamp.
Scamp was the word I was going to go for as well. I don't know if you've been in a methane swamp before. Well, I have.
I have been trapped in a car with someone who's farted. So,
Oh, that's basically the same
you
thing.
know,
Is this?
it's,
Are we going straight on to Dick on my ex part of the podcast?
no.
But now
No.
that you mention
Not
it.
today, but let me tell you.
So, moving on to Timothy Burleson on Twitter said,
Hello, Timothy.
Baby Beard Media, OMG, how have I never heard of your show?
How?
Your fellow, God, what happened there? Your fellow Adladianates, or whatevs, Nick and James haven't shouted you out yet. Yeah, you know what? Why haven't they shouted us out yet?
Yeah, okay. New segment. Let's dick on our fellow
dick on our
podcasting
friends.
friends. Nick and James, what the fuck? We literally live in the same
We are
fucking-
literally 10 minutes drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We both suck.
Yeah. The crossover three-way with Key Springfield and The Simpsons Index was hilarious. Damn near wet myself in public. I'm glad.
Oh.
And now 99 eps of Shut Up and Take My Podcast to go.
Oh, man. You are in for a treat.
Aren't they?
Because... Do we get better? I don't know. There's different people,
Yeah?
so you've got that to look forward to.
I mean, as our favorite number one fan is about to find out when you become a mainstay,
Oh, the person who hates me for
Hates you.
ruining their
boff their episodes.
their episodes and also being a female presence in a pop
Predominantly-
culture world.
Oh, I was going to say a
I'm
sausage
just a-
cast, but
Just a gamer girl
in a lonely world.
in a. Oh, I was doing Barbie girl,
She
but
took the podcast train.
going not really popular
Improv. Jose,
improv, and why aren't we good at it?
now, Jose, I'm just assuming it's Jose.
No
and
way.
if it's not, please tell me. Jose. That is Jose,
Jose,
isn't it? It is
yeah.
good. Jose.
Or it can be Jose sometimes,
Yeah,
but
Jose.
Jose is better.
Okay.
Guess.
So let's split the difference and go Jose. Jose Ramos says, Baby Bit Media, I enjoyed your celebration of episodes that actually then celebrated no episodes. But you are all hilarious. Ellen, your puns are appreciated too.
Thank you.
Well done.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Jose.
Oh my God. And I think I've got one
They
more.
might hate me now since I did the no way Jose. But it's,
Look,
it's
there's a
not really a
possibility.
pun, it's a play on words.
And finally, we have I love this name, a YouTube comment on our Teenage Mutant Leela's Hurdles episode.
We can't talk. We've had
Me
enough.
have Sturk
Me have stroke.
from Asmosis Jones. And I love that.
Osmosis.
No, just Asmosis.
Oh.
Osmosis, though. I'm
Yeah,
taking it now.
Is the absorption of things through the butt.
They just said
This has been Science Corner.
the Pazuzu episode, lol.
Thank you.
I think
Thank
that's when
you.
we started going, Pazuzu!
Thank you, Asmosis.
Osmosis.
I hope this episode was absorbed through your butt.
Oh. And that was people
those are
talking
all
to us
our-
corner.
This is actual interaction that we have with living creatures.
Creatures besides each other.
Well done, us.
And that's it.
And well done, you guys, actually. No, but all seriousness, thanks everyone for writing in because it takes like a minute of your time. But when we get it, we actually feel like we're the fucking prom queens of the universe. And we just feel like people actually enjoy the insane ramblings that we do apropos of nothing. No one's asked us to do this, but you are celebrating it.
And so we celebrate you.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
And come back with us for another 100 episodes.
Yeah, and if you want to interact further, please do. We'll continue to spruik your good word or mercilessly roast you. Whatever you want.
And speaking of spruiking, just very quickly at the top of the episode instead of the end of the episode, just a reminder that we will be having an interview episode very soon with directors Stephen Sandoval and Peter Avancino.
Yes.
So we get one run from the first run and one from the second run together. The band is back together. And that'll be fun. Look, they might have a band. Who knows? John DiMaggio has a band.
He has a band. And as we've said multiple times, John DiMaggio, get the fuck on our podcast.
Yes.
Please.
John.
Please.
John.
We have no means to pay you.
And also we will be so when this episode drops, in about a day or two's time, we'll be appearing on the One Good Thing podcast, another A Lot of Green member.
Yep.
To discuss, what did we discuss? The Predator.
Predator.
The Predator.
I see that you've blocked it from your mind.
A clearly
and
memorable
I raise
experience.
you and I raise you, not blocking it from your mind, but having a visceral physical reaction to the predator.
Yes, you did. You
Yes,
did. Very much so.
I believe I broke out in hives. Not really. I was using comedic hyperbole.
Ellen,
Anyway.
should we get on to the episode?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
We've never been here to talk about Futurama, and you know that.
and we never will.
Nah.
However,
no, let's talk
in
about
lieu
the
of that, let's talk about season 6, episode 17, Benderama.
Oh,
What would Benderama be, Ellen?
a Rama of Bender.
Oh,
Nailed
absolutely
it.
done.
Thank you.
Director. I went with that.
Do I get a time bonus?
You get a cookie.
Sick.
You get to choose what cookie as
I
well.
knew this podcast would pay off eventually.
You have to buy the cookie, but you get it.
What?
Director. Crystal Chesney Thompson, who is back from Irreconcilable Indifferences.
Differences.
Now, Crystal, I thought this was pretty cool. She used to be... Now, I was meant to write animation director, and I wrote animal director,
She was the animal director for Futurama.
which sounds like an amazing
That's
job.
spectacular.
I would love to be an animal director.
I mean, not too much of a tangent, but like when Disney did Lion King, they actually brought in real life lions into the animating studio, just like they had someone lead them around, just so the animators could get a sense of how they walked to really like put that properly into their animation. So
This is the original Lion King, not the forthcoming...
I will not discuss any 3D fucking live action Disney remakes. You know how much they make my blood boil. If you would like to hear those thoughts, at me on the Instagram, because I got a lot to say, but it's going to take up all of this podcast if we do. But
Also,
yeah.
subscribe to our Patreon, which doesn't yet exist. Look, a la Harry Potter, just throw your money out the window and give the address, which you clearly... Just say Adelaide.
Yep.
Baby Beard Media.
We'll get it.
The wind
eventually.
will take it.
Eventually, yeah.
That's how Australia works.
Yeah, so clearly Crystal was wrangling all the different animals that
Yeah.
we've seen in Futurama.
Thank you for letting me know what I was actually saying there. The animation director for two things that I thought were quite apt. Number one was the SpongeBob movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you fucking kidding
Yeah,
me?
yeah. Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
Oh my god, I love SpongeBob, and the SpongeBob movie is pretty fucking great as well.
If not just for David Hasselhoff, I
They
do enjoy
built
that.
I swear to God, 10-foot David Hasselhoff model for that SpongeBob movie. Where is it now? I would like to know. Surely they didn't just like chuck it in the bin.
Well, if you have the David Hasselhoff statue, throw it out your window, say Adelaide, Baby Beard Media,
Post it to us, please.
and we'll see it in our backyard very shortly.
Oh, that would be great.
She was also the animation director for Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Oh.
The Hood, sorry, which is one of the movies that is on my shelf.
No, I believe you were right the first time. I think it's Da Hood.
Da Hood.
As much as it pains me to say.
No, there's In the Hood, and then there's Back to the Hood, because it's two. Yeah, so it's
You
on the right hand.
legitimately have
I know.
the fucking film.
I know. And I haven't watched it yet. Let's watch it. The writer for this episode is Aaron.
Yes.
Can you try? What is that writer's name? I've said it before and I know it's wrong.
He has?
He has. That's what I thought. He has.
It's got a Z at the end.
I know, which is not problematic. It's just
He has.
He has it. So Aaron Ehazes, who's back from Crimes of the Hot. So it's been a while since we've had Aaron.
Yeah.
He's returning. And he, if you remembered, last time I said he was one of the people involved with Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Okay.
The series, not the movie.
series. Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah.
But also, this sounds really cool. Siri, I'm not talking to you. Siri came on.
Oh.
There's a Netflix series, an animation called The Dragon Prince.
Oh, yes. Fuck me up. I love that.
He's a co-creator of it.
Okay, brilliant. But I knew that The Dragon Prince was made by people who worked on The Last Airbender, and it really shows, except like it's got like a blend of kind of just like quirky humor and a story that's really overarching. The animation took a while for me to grow on me.
Yeah.
It's that 3D kind of animation where if you ever watch Ruby, like
Which I never have. I should do. Rooster Teeth.
the Rooster Teeth Ruby, it's kind of similar to that, but it's also kind of, I think it's missing some frame rates, so it looks kind of shonky at times.
Bit jolty, or
Yeah. But I totally love it. And season 2 is out now, which I
Yes.
haven't watched yet, but
which was
it's
just recently it's just recently come out.
Yeah.
I think as of Feb. But also to that, it was co-created with Justin
long.
Richmond, who was a co-writer for Uncharted 3.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool.
Some pretty, like, we've got some animating powerhouses in this hood.
The
right
air
now.
date for this episode is June 23rd, 2011. And to preempt what you're going to say, it was 2 weeks before my 20th birthday.
You need to check yourself as well.
Before I wreck myself?
Yeah, because I was gonna say it's literally 20 days after my birthday,
When's your birthday?
June the 3rd.
June the 3rd.
I mean, I'm pretty shit at maths, but could you not do that math right there on the
Oh,
spot?
no, I'm doing mine. But I'm also going to do yours now because you asked.
Yeah, so what year was it?
2011.
Okay. Do the math for me. How
Okay.
old was I?
So you were, well, how old are you now?
I am 23.
And I'm 27. So it's 4 years before me. So 1916
I was 16.
or turning 16, maybe.
I had already turned 16. It was 20 days after my birthday.
There you go. So
And
you're just
also
16.
3 days after my brother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Redacted.
No, I legitimately can't remember his name.
Oh, it's Tom.
Oh, I was going to say Harrison.
Shout out to my bro. He never listens.
Has he ever listened?
What up? No, I hope not, because I dick on him all the time.
Yeah.
But Tom, if you're listening, yo, I'm sorry for all the shit I said about you on this podcast.
We should get an episode where your mum, your brother, and your ex are listening together. I don't know why they'd be
Put them
listening
all
together
in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
It'd be a rollicking time. It'd be great.
He would actually be great on this podcast because he fucking loves Futurama.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
we should have got him here today.
Nah.
Yeah. All right.
It's too much hassle.
We're introducing a guest which you very quickly just correctly
Oh, yes.
guessed. Mr. Patton Oswalt.
Brilliant.
I love the man.
He's such a brilliant performer, but also just like a genuine, lovable guy. Like anytime I see interactions with him on Twitter, I was like, my heart poured out for him after Michelle McNamara's death.
Yes.
Which is his wife, and he kind of picked up her project and helped complete her book, since her book was unfinished when she passed away, unfortunately. But he reached out to a fellow crime reporter, since it's a true crime book, and helped figure it out. And her book was all about the Golden State Killer. And a few weeks after the book,
I was going to say that was quite soon after.
a few
yeah.
weeks after the book came out, he was found.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
All due to them.
pretty much. Like, she did a lot in terms of really consolidating a lot of the material.
Yeah.
And bringing to light like just all the stuff that was connected to the Golden State killings. So yeah, Patton Oswalt, all around
Good-
amazing,
Good bloke.
fucking human. Was he used well in this episode?
We'll find out. Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
Would you like to run down the plot?
Oh shit! No! Why is it whenever Phil's here, it always falls to someone, but we just like never properly assign it. We're just like, oh, Phil will do that.
No, because
Oh.
because I basically show run this, I get to just divvy it out to the next person, which
You
unfortunately
bastard.
is you.
Okay, yeah, I can do this. I can do this.
Can you? Let's
I'm
go.
a strong woman. Okay, so Planet Express, Farnsworth has invented a new machine that will duplicate something to a smaller scale and make two, if
Yes.
that makes sense. So he wants Bender to do some work. Bender decides, fuck that. And so he duplicates himself into two smaller things, and he asks them, since he's been asked to do two things, he asks them to do one thing each. And so Bender's pretty lazy. That all seems to work out. They visit a planet with a insecure giant, Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt, giant.
They make fun of him, then they fuck off. It doesn't really factor too much in, except when Bender starts to replicate too much like a giant pest and starts drinking the planet dry, right?
Yes.
And then dying off. However, somehow the mini benders convert all the water in the world into alcohol. Everyone is too fucking loaded. The giant comes back to Earth to try and apologize, but everyone drunkenly insults him. So it's up to the whole league of benders to finally take on this giant. They succeed. And all the benders fuck off because they don't want to do any work at actually improving the Earth.
They don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Essentially, yeah. That is the end.
So it's the grey goo theory, which is a bit of a I think it's a
Grey
sci-fi
goo?
trope. Yeah, it's called the grey goo theory, which is basically a storytelling device that is used where a whole bunch of self-replicating robots replicate themselves
Right.
again and again and
So
again,
you've got
and
nanites.
use up the world's resources, and it becomes a huge thing.
Sure. I mean, robots generally don't need a lot of resources, though. That's my only contention. Like, sure, they need either electricity or some sort of other energy-powered mechanism, solar, or, if we think about cars, they need coal or, petrol, essentially.
It's just a general term for that sort of
well, I'm
storytelling
saying
device.
it's stupid.
It ain't stupid. It's good. Grey goo theory.
When I think of grey goo, I just think of brain matter.
Well, this is the grey goo theory.
Sorry for dicking on your theory, guys.
No. It's a well-established theory with or without you.
Nah. It needs to pass through me first.
No.
So
this episode, Pace.com gives it an 8.4 out of 10, Crave Online an 8 out of 10, IMDb 7.7 out of 10, and AV Club an A-.
So, guys,
What
did we think?
What did we think? Oh my goodness.
Look, there were a lot of kind of there were a lot of just little satisfying gags. I think with the introduction of how all the benders interact was, for me, really satisfying and a comedic payoff. Bender expecting, if he duplicates himself, to then make those duplicates do all the work. They just turn around and say, "Go to hell, old man." He's like, "Yeah, that is what
me.
I would say."
That's exactly what I would say.
And they all get along, obviously, because the only thing Bender loves.
Well, Bender loves himself,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
great.
So that was quite sad. There's a few little gags that I really liked with the Bender in the spider web, setting fire to the spider web and falling. And because it's a tiny Bender, you just hear a little ding. Like when it hits the floor. That's great.
I think what I really would have loved them doing with the mini Benders is because it's a 60% version of Bender and then a 60% version Bender of that, where they take Joe DiMaggio's voice and just like make it a little bit higher
pitch,
higher.
yeah.
So you just get like a slightly altered Joe DiMaggio voice, and the more that they get smaller, so you just get this chipmunk voice at the end.
Yeah.
My shiny metal ass.
Oh, the youth of today.
The youth of today. At the very beginning, do you not think? I hesitate to ponder whether it's happened elsewhere. Have you seen Zoidberg more distraught? Like
Yeah.
that is the most
He lets
distraught.
out
I
an
think
anguished cry
Oh, and what was it about?
Due to budget cuts, there will be no free squid cuts in the kitchen. Which is basically what, like a haircut? What's a squid cut?
I guess so.
Is it a haircut? He has no hair.
He had hair. Maybe that's how he manages to. Maybe next episode,
maintain it.
Next episode, he'll have hair now.
Or maybe it's like because he's a crustacean, no?
Yeah.
Right. So maybe it's some sort of cleaning, like scaling thing. Like maybe he gets barnacles and stuff. So maybe a squid cut is more of a descaling procedure. Kind of, I guess it would be like a spa day.
Yeah.
For us, because when we exfoliate, we're just getting dead skin off us.
I've never had a spa day.
Oh.
No, I've never had that experience. I don't
Baby
know.
beard spa day!
Yeah. Well, I guess now that he
Funded
doesn't.
by you, the patrons.
I guess now that he doesn't have it, he's a bit of a crushed station. So, he doesn't feel too good about himself. There we go. That's pun number 2 of the episode, and there'll be plenty more to come. I can actually, just in lieu of Phil being here, I only got one bender function because I only remembered to start doing bender's functions about 3/4 way through the episode.
Yeah, go for
which
it.
is popcorn bender.
Oh, yeah. So what do? They just put a whole bunch of the mini benders in a...
Well, they vacuumed him up. They chopped him up. They vacuumed him up.
and
They
then
took
they put
that
the
bag.
vacuum bag, put it in the microwave. It popped like popcorn, and they're all able to eat it
They
somehow.
can eat him.
He's metal.
He's an edible bender.
He's literally made of iron.
So with this metal, if you put it in the microwave, that makes it edible. The future, ladies and gentlemen.
Please don't put metal in your microwaves, people.
Not for another 1,000 years.
I ask you. Yeah, do it in 1,000 years.
Oh, speaking of which, I'll get my thing out the way as well, which is death tally. So,
all of the mini benders. Not all of them.
A fair amount of benders. 2 mice.
There's 3, actually.
There were 3?
There were 3 in there.
3 mice.
Pretty horrible. Describe the sound I made.
Oh!
When Bender crumples up a cage of mice
Yeah.
and puts it in himself as matter to feed the duplicator.
1 spider.
1 spider? Yep.
And, everyone at the Indy 500.
It does make sense if you had everyone rip-roaring drunk on alcohol
In those cars.
and then you have the Indy 500.
Why would they still go ahead with it? God damn it.
Because they're drunk.
You know.
I can do it. Just give me my keys.
Look.
I'm fine.
We have
can
sponsors.
drive.
We have sponsors, and they're telling us to shut the fuck up and drive. So let's do it. Hello.
Is that all the death tally?
That's all. I started to write 1 bender, and then many more benders died. So I stopped writing.
You
that.
have totally forgotten one.
What? Who died?
The Patton Oswalt giant.
Oh God, he totally dies
In a horrible
in a
way.
horrific way.
So does he get eaten away by the tiny nano benders? Is that what happens?
Or do they just rip him to shreds at a molecular level?
Possibly.
I reckon because
But that would still be eaten.
Yeah,
right?
it
They're
just
just
depends whether
eating
they.
all these molecules and
Well, it depends
stuff.
whether they consume or whether they just grab the molecules and just break them apart as well.
Oh, no.
Like grab your molecules and just rip them to shreds.
Maybe that kind of, for me, seems to work better with his death. It's terrible, and I hate the way that they've treated this character. But when he's covered in and he starts just kind of essentially fading away, like Thanos snap style, just disappearing into the air, and he goes, "Finally, I'm beautiful." So I guess if he was ripped apart the molecular structure, his molecules would still exist, in the framework of the universe, and he would be one with the universe. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean because I'm one with the universe. Also, so with Patton Oswalt's character, and I think let's just call him Monster because that's what they call him. They say he doesn't give his name.
Do we check in the credits? No, it just
says
said,
something Monster.
That's fucked.
He does well at the beginning where he's it just rolls off his back. Where he's you know what,
Oh yeah,
it's fine, whatever.
It's fine. Then
And-
they insult his mum.
And so he defends his mum's honor.
Yeah.
And then they fly away. And that's fine.
Yep.
God, I feel so bad for him.
I'm sorry, and he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And also, okay, so it was interesting that we were talking about Queer Eye before we started the episode because they have such a way of tearing apart self-deprecation because there's so many men on that show where they're like, oh, I'm just dumpy big ugly guy, and they're like, no, shut up, don't say that about yourself because it's just simply not true. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, you might be big, but that's not a statement about yourself. And it really tears me apart because, so the Patton Oswalt giant is the whole reason they're delivering to him is because he's getting acne cream, deodorant.
Yeah, care products.
What else? Yeah, that's grooming products. And I'm sorry, why do we always make people feel embarrassed for trying to better themselves? It's the thing about people making fun of fat people when they're working out.
When they're on the treadmill.
Yeah, and it's
et cetera, et cetera.
I'm sorry, but okay, so you want people to feel embarrassed enough to try and do something about their body, i.e. work out, but then you shame them for working out. Like,
Yeah, it would have. It may have played better if they'd have found a way for Patton Oswalt to get his own back. You know what I mean? Like to actually.
Yeah, but he doesn't at all.
He ends up being the monster villain and then dies. And then what does Bender say? Like that'll teach.
That'll teach you for trying to for trying to fight people who are more handsome than you.
Which while that works as something for Bender to say, it also then, because there's nothing to deflect that or to go counter to that does end up being the message of the episode.
Yeah, it doesn't work as the moral of a story.
No, it works out as Bender's moral, but when there's no moral to counter that, it just goes, oh, that feels a little bit...
And also there's a really weirdly salient point that they're making. I mean, they're not trying to make it, I'm sure. But when the giant comes back to Earth to try and apologize for lashing out, right, then everyone makes fun of him again. He calls up his either psychs or counselor to be like, oh, I'm having problems with my anger management again. And the call not going through because they're unavailable at that time. It's a really, actually... I don't know if it's well observed or not, but it's true in life that quite often the point that someone's in a crisis is when people really need to be there. And for someone to kind of be calling a helpline per se and for someone not to respond to them quickly enough, that's when people then do just lash out. And yeah.
100%. Also, that is some awesome technology. I'm just thinking about a phone that goes planet to planet. That is some great 10G network that
Which
they're using
is this?
there. When he gets...
Oh! Yeah, because I'm assuming he's phoning his giant
he's phoning
planet.
home. Yeah, that is some 10G network shit right there.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking great.
And
I mean, he is pretty tall though, so maybe he's
He's his own antenna?
Yeah.
And I also love that it's a 1980s phone. It's the really big block.
Maybe you can't get sleek new smartphones for giant sizes.
No, there's no such thing as the giant phone, the iPhone giant phone. I don't know. I was trying to go.
I'll give you some time to work on that pun.
I'll get back to you.
There was one gag I really did laugh at because there's quite a lot of non sequiturs and just weird lines when everyone becomes drunk on Earth. And my favorite one was Hermes saying, "Do you want to see a picture of my boy?" He pulls out a picture. Someone says, "That's your penis," and he goes, "Yeah, that's my boy."
The way he says it, "It's my boy.
It's my boy.
It's my boy."
I'm not one for people showing pictures of their penis generally, but that just made me lose my shit.
And also, everyone was totally, that seems to be a relationship.
So into it.
Yeah,
they
he's
were
yeah, that's your penis, isn't it? He's like, yeah. It's oh, good on you,
and
Hermes.
everyone's yeah.
Speaking of penis, what do you reckon cognac with a hint of scrotum tastes like? Besides a hint of scrotum.
Just would taste a bit like sweat.
Sweaty cognac.
Well, that's what not to be crass.
I mean, but yes,
that's what a scrotum tastes like. It's true. At me.
At scrotum me. At me. Does your scrotum taste different? There we go.
Yeah, my scrotum tastes totally different.
Oh. Like what? I'm gonna dive deep into this one.
Cherries and wine.
That's the cognac with
well,
cherries.
I am a
decadent scrotum. My favorite note, because I wrote it down after you said it. I was like, so fucking true. Just how did Bender not see this coming? He rolls with it pretty soon after, but that initial shock where he's like, "What do you mean you're not going to do?" I'm like, Bender, that's you.
Yeah,
it's what you do.
Yeah, it's exactly what he does.
It's also 60% of you, which will be less inclined to do shit as well. Maybe if that's how it worked. We were unsure. Leela questioned it as well.
Yeah, look, it's an episode that hand waves a lot of weight. I don't know if any of the math checks out because similar to Fry, when the equation for how Bender is multiplying is shown, everyone goes, and then Fry's just, there's a pause, and Fry just goes, well, don't wait for me. Same.
Or Bender
same.
has an inability to count as well. Like when then those two have another two, and those two have two,
and that
you
makes
have seven Benders. yes, Bender.
Is he not like a calculator though?
No, they've tried to use him as a calculator, and then I think he used a calculator.
There's also like a weird scale for attractiveness in this episode. I don't know. There's just one line where Bender, so Patton Oswalt has grabbed the ship and he's looking down the windshield, and Bender goes, "It's like Edward James Olmos in IMAX."
I had to look him up.
Edward James Olmos is a very handsome dude.
He's I know him
in
as
Blade Runner.
Yeah, as Gaff from Blade Runner,
and he's like in a slew of other things as well. But he's very handsome.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I looked at him. I thought, like as far as a punching down joke is concerned, if you were going to use
sense.
like, why didn't you? It's weird to go with him.
Yeah, is it because he's got like he's got a scarred face?
Was he also like more like in the public in 2011? Was this like a very in reference to use him?
I don't believe so. I think he's just always been just like a kind of craggy yet handsome dude. Like he's a dude that you would get to play a kind of grizzled character.
Yeah, it's like weird that they like. It seemed like a very obvious. Like it's like, oh, you look like Gary Busey in IMAX, or like someone. I don't know.
That would be obvious because because Gary Busey is ugly, but because he looks fucking weird.
Yes, and in IMAX,
that would be. Oh, that would be the scariest
like Gary Busey
movie.
smiling at you for an hour and a half in IMAX, just smiling, like the guy that sits down on YouTube videos and smiles
sitting
for 3
and
hours.
smiling for 5 hours.
Yeah.
They're 5-hour videos.
Gary Busey sitting and smiling at you for 5 hours, and then every hour he just says, "Have you seen my movies?"
Oh God!
And then smiles again.
Oh no!
Oh, my favorite visual gag in this episode is it's just a lovely little visual tidbit is that they go out and buy little mini couches for the mini Benders, so when Bender's laying down on the couch, there's two mini couches beside him. That's
quite cute. I also liked them on the tandem bicycle, but because no one was pedaling, it just falls over.
Would it be a tandem or would it be a tridem? It's not a tricycle. That's a different thing.
Trinity of Bender. I don't know.
You know what I also thought was a different thing?
What?
What a situation room would look like.
Not the bathroom. I guess situations happen in there. Do you know what I mean?
All the fucking time. Also, his last situation room was his bedroom. And then they said, can we go somewhere else? He's like, sure. And then it just obviously permanently became the bath after that.
Farnsworth, what the fuck?
What the hell?
There's a little thing that I tried to figure out. So when they're reporting the shortage of alcohol, there is a beer brand in the Futurama universe called Zero Equis.
Yes.
Which I was trying to look it up. So Zero is 0, obviously, and Equis means X. So 0X is kind of the thing, but now I dug a bit deeper, and so there is a Mexican beer called Dos Equis, so 2 X's, and it's the Moctezuma Brewery. So I spent some valuable time doing that.
Right. Do you reckon they did as well?
No, I'm sure they did, because if there's a brand called Dos Equis, then for them to go 0, like, works.
I do love those little like kind of nods that no one would know unless either that, like, you don't know unless you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's also a really weird Fry pulls out a comparison to the Kardashians. I guess this was like 2011.
Yeah.
But like,
Kardashians were more of a thing. I think keeping up with the Kardashians was pretty much at the height of its power, so to speak.
You reckon?
I reckon.
It's still pretty popular.
Is it? Is it still going?
I don't know.
Right into us. Is the Kardashians still going?
I love Patton Oswalt using the helicopter as a razor.
Yes, I've got that down too.
That was fun.
Oh, Scary Door. I love like
Scary Door.
The dolphin horn and the horse riding the jockey.
I also love it was like a bubble gum, but it was the earth, and then the earth explodes onto some kid's face. That was quite cool.
Just the earth on the... Yeah. It's like I love every scary door. That scary door was really good.
I was about to reference something, but I cannot remember the name. There is it's not new, but a few months ago there was a new series on Adult Swim, and it's claymation. Well, maybe not claymation, but kind of stop motion animation, and it's basically a parody of the Twilight Zone, but it is fucked up. Like, they go very, very hard. Like, there's a lot of face melting. One of the little shorts is like this was the girl, and she was the longest record holder for hide and seek, and she just puts up her hands to her eyes, and then her parents like, where is she? Oh my God. And like the police come, the dad blows his brains out.
Joy.
The mum sets the house on fire.
Do we know what this is called?
No, I can't remember.
It's on Netflix?
It's on Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, right.
So if you look that up, it's really fucked up.
I gotta say, if they went on Adult Swim and then just inserted, like if the Scary Door was a common show that was still around,
It would be on Adult Swim.
I would eat that shit up. It is so great.
Scary
What
door.
was it? Experience that dramatic irony for me.
No! And then he just drinks his beer.
And he's like, yes, I'm
Nice.
satisfied. Good.
Nice.
Good. Do we have any final thoughts?
Yeah, why is there a shower in the conference room?
It has always been there, but then that still brings up the question of why is it there? I mean, also, let's remember that Hermes has video cameras for everywhere in Planet Express, and he uses them regularly. Just that's a little thing for you to know there.
Okay. Also, I like the little look into workplace drama of Leela going, it's fine, but I really like having the end locker, and why won't Amy just swap with me? Like, I have those conversations all the I'm sure everyone does. Like, it's just
relatable.
It's tiny workplace drama that you're like, and I wouldn't mind so much. It's just do you know what I mean?
Just,
like,
and like
it would be easily fixed.
And it totally does not matter in the grand scheme of things, but it also is the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It means so much to you.
Well, you want to have your routine at work.
You want to have your space.
The ways of killing benders are quite funny. There's a piñata where they just whack off its head until it explodes.
There's the aforementioned popcorn
There's
bender.
the popcorn. They shoot Bender in the chest, and then there was a tiny Bender inside Bender's Bible. And it's the line like, oh, well, he didn't have his own Bible. That's quite good. They really go on a spree. There's a trap with a sex worker bot, a tiny little mouse trap.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's nice.
That's funny. There's a lot of really cool visuals in this one. Also, Zoidberg's wedding album. Was Zoidberg married?
Wait, well, but Zoidberg wasn't married, but Johnny Zoidberg was.
Maybe
that was his. Maybe were they dating?
Well, she said, "Let's pick up where we left off."
Yeah, let's pick up our marriage where we left
Holy
off.
shit. Anyway,
Holy
those
shit.
precious memories were shredded. Well, not shredded, used as matter to duplicate the sweater.
Oh, also, I want that sweater. That looks like a nice sweater. I would
quite
wear that
cute.
sweater.
Yeah, it's like Ellen's fashion corner. Wink. So we have it's like a kind of almost mustard brown. It's a bit darker than mustard,
Yes.
but
And as we know about Ellen's
mustard.
Fashion Corner,
You got to get
mustard is a must.
Get or to. Anyway, it's like that kind of brown. It's a bit of a darker hue than a mustard, and it's got like a red zigzag around the collar, around the neck, and I think a green stripe across the middle. It's quite cute.
Yeah.
If anyone finds any,
Send it in.
maybe I'll do. That'll be my homework. I'll go hunting for that sweater, and when I find it, I'll get you one, and we can wear it on the Insta.
But if you guys find it, you know what to do. Throw it out the window. Say
Yeah.
Adelaide, Baby Beard Media, and we'll get it.
We don't ask for much.
No, just a bit of magic.
Jeez.
A bit of love. Ellen.
Yeah.
We need to put this down to a bit of a vote. And the way we're going to do that is by pitting this episode, which is entitled Benderama, against the current Season 6 winner, which is entitled Law and Oracle.
Mm-hmm. That was also a twofer.
It was also a twofer.
Yeah, that was us again.
I am going to...
So we control the fate of this podcast, it seems.
Right. I mean, do we 4, 3, 2, 1 it again?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Four,
So 4,
3, 2, 1.
Lauren Oracle!
Yay! The one time that doesn't work is going to be great.
Yeah.
It's Lauren Oracle. It's just
It's
more
definitely.
It was a more cohesive episode. It utilizes its premise much more effectively.
Yeah.
There's some like fantastic uses of your side characters. Hedonism bot.
Yep.
Always lovely to see him. Fry, Leela, and Bender. There's an arc for the three of them that works well together.
The things it parodies is
100%.
it does really well. Minority Report.
Police Academy?
There's also Police Academy. There's also a fantastic animation homage to Tron.
I really
it's
appreciate
just
that you were holding a
brilliant.
fan when you said that too.
I'm waving it around to
Fantastic.
It's fantastic, people. It was just a more thoroughly enjoyable episode. It was very cohesive. It was just a nice little package, whereas things for Benderama don't really sit well with me. Like the whole Patton Oswalt giant. I love Patton Oswalt. Put him in your show more often.
Yeah,
But
use your
why-
Patton Oswalt more.
Why is he the butt of this joke that, this ugly giant with spots and is overweight, boo on him, and then he dies?
Yeah, it started off with a lot of promise. Like, I actually think the way that it didn't go too far with the first scene, it just depended how they used him later.
Yeah.
And they could have turned it around,
And they
but
just didn't
the
stick the
joke
landing.
ended up being he's quote unquote ugly.
Yeah.
And so whether you're drunk or sober, you get dicked on.
Yep.
And then he dies for that.
Yep.
And no one sticks up for the Patton guy. So
We do.
Yeah, we stick
Here
up for
on
the Patton
Baby
guy.
Beard Media, we love Patton Oswalt.
And we will have
Get him
on
on
our
this podcast.
You know what? I reckon if he knew who the fuck we were, he might.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's add him.
Sure.
Hey, hey, Patton. Patton. So,
let's at him.
Oh.
He's definitely not coming on.
and I'm going to use this joke a second time because it works much better here. Will we have him on our podcast? Well, that's patent pending.
Bye.
Hey. So let's do a voice. Lauren Oracle, if that wasn't made clear.
Yeah.
Let's do a voice, and because we're going through the classics.
Did we also have new ones for this episode? We have Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, which I can't do.
I can't do Patton
No,
Oswalt.
I don't know how you do Patton.
He's got kind of like a there's a bit of a twang. And it's, I don't know. Look, I appreciate that. I'm trying to get myself back on track. This is terrible.
Hi, I'm Patton Oswalt.
Hi, I'm Patton Oswalt.
Hello. Hello. I'm Patton Oswalt.
Okay,
you say
let's-
I'm, and then the person's name is a flawless impression.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Izzard's
Yeah.
his formula for doing impersonations, where he's not good at impersonations. So he's like, I'm Christopher Walken.
Yeah. I'm Gary Busey. Why didn't you use me in this episode?
Gary Busey.
Oh.
Hey. These just keep writing themselves,
Oh.
people. Let's do a voice.
Zoidberg today.
That's the cry he does in this
I think
episode.
it's "Ah!"
No. It's pretty good, I think.
What else does the Zoid say? Oh, they say, so he does, I'm going to do the following line after that, which is, okay.
That's just you. You've done your voice.
Okay. Hey, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Yay! Jellyfishing, yay!
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
And it is. It is an instrument.
I guess it can lube up your vocal folds.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
I was using lube in its proper context.
Oh. But no one's ever going to take it that way.
I was going to.
You know it. Our podcast. Hey, guys, if you would like to join us next week, we'll be doing the tip of the Zoidberg.
But,
Oh, get it?
what?
Because it's like iceberg, but instead of iceberg, they say Zoidberg, which is a character on Futurama.
Yeah, what else will we be talking about when we're talking about tips?
Oh,
Nothing.
the tip of a Zoidberg next week on this podcast. And if you'd like to contact us for any reason, whether it's to talk about Gary Busey or your love of fans, or if you want to give us a sweater,
Patton Oswalt on this podcast,
Get
or
that
John
trending.
DiMaggio as
or
well.
Gary Busey.
At any of them, really, on our behalf.
You can do so by letting us know at babybeardmedia@gmail.com. You can also find us on the social medias, which should include Facebook and Twitter, and also
Instagram. Yeah, you know it. So there's going to be a live stream when our episodes drop. You can always hop onto our Instagram because there'll be a live stream of us recording it. You know, 2 people in chairs. Fascinating, I know. There's also pictures of our faces. You get to see things that we really like. And sometimes we just post memes about things, but there's also polls as well, so it's a way to really get involved. Check out our Twitter as well. We also do polls on that, and we are also on the A Lot of Green network.
Yes,
so if you want to check out
alotofgreen.com.au.
.au is special because it stands for owl.
Ow.
Yeah, and that's where we and other fellow podcasters, One Good Thing,
Pods in the Key of
Pods in the Key of
Springfield.
Springfield, 2 podcasts that we regularly interact with. You can check them out on A Lot of Green, and as well as other Australian podcasts.
Yes,
So,
and also another way you can get involved, if you like what we do,
please rate and review.
yes, if you come onto the podcast app or iTunes, just give us a cheeky 5-star rating and a little review. Takes you 1 or 2 minutes. Really, it is the best way to skyrocket us up the stratosphere of great podcasts. And also, I think we should mention as a little side thing, if you do happen to interact with us on Instagram, you look on the live stream, you will see that the Mass Effect poster that I had up last time is no longer there.
It's still there. It's just on the ground.
Because it fell down.
Yeah,
And I haven't rectified that.
We will work at building ourselves a better nerd wall. We swear.
We swear one day.
Okay.
So, guys.
Yeah.
Until next time, I have been Sean.
And I will continue to be Ellen.
And that person over there will probably be Phil.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Sometimes he's Paul.
Sometimes he's Saul. But after all, isn't that the true meaning of Christmas? Bullfighting doesn't actually feature as much bull as one might think.
No, it's definitely got a lot of bull.
Yeah, it's got a lot of bull. Bullshit.
Bullshit. Oh.
I'm picking activities that were popular in 2003.
Fuck. I was alive
Fucking.
then. Fucking is always pretty popular.
I had handball or Foursquare.
Yeah, Foursquare. Holy shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Foursquare.
Foursquare. Can we do a baby beard Foursquare tournament?
I thought you meant just go through the rules of Foursquare in this podcast.
I mean, potentially. But also the one thing I realized is that, well, at least in my school, I don't know if it was the same for you, but Foursquare was a massive... oh, she's gone.
I can still hear you.
She's gone. Once she goes away from the mic, she can't hear anything anymore. She doesn't exist. Oh, there's Ellen.
Hello.
Oh.
As we all know, I'm a figment of the machine. Also, did you see that picture that... Was it Chris? Did he put it in the group chat? Of like, us all be like...
No, it was me.
That was you? I've saved it. I'm going to put it on our Insta.